Helen Blazes Brewing Company in Melbourne, Florida, operates out of a fully renovated 120-year-old former hardware and farm supply store. But what many people don't realize is there was a mortuary on one side of the building for years. A lot of souls pass through a 120-year-old building. A lot of energy is stored within these walls. Some people believe several children who died in an airplane crash during the 1940s were brought to this mortuary for processing. The building continued as a hardware store owned by several different proprietors until the 1990s, when it changed hands and spent 20-some years as a gift boutique. The DeFrisco family purchased the building in 2015. The building was completely gutted, since the foundation and floors would have to be hardened to retrofit the weight of a microbrewery. But during construction, something strange happened. As they unearthed parts of the foundation, several items were recovered from prior owners: candy wrappers, shoes, personal items, and some well-worn iron tools from the mortuary business. Employees began to hear strange cries, moans, noises, and see even stranger things. A waitress and a bartender reported seeing an apparition under the staircase. The bartender went to touch it, and it disappeared. Something awakened in this building during the refurb, something with a story to tell or a message to send before it can finally rest. That's why we're here. We want to help these spirits tell their stories. We want to help them rest. We are the Underpresence.
This building's it's eerie. There's a lot of the girls here that work here that do not like to be here at night.
So what's going on here? What are we doing here?
Well, who's with you?
Father Jesus, priest, paranormal investigator.
Victor Peruna, former priest, paranormal investigator.
Steve Kurtzke, paranormal investigator, tech expert.
Some people say that, this place is haunted. There have been multiple reports about people seeing spirits or hearing children's footsteps and things like that. When I walk in every morning, I open the door and I walk very quickly to this door because it is dark. And I'm not even making this. I always wait for the day that maybe this will be the day where there's something sitting right there in that corner. Or I'm not afraid of the dark, but I'm just saying, maybe this is a day where that thing is going to come and I'm going to see it, and it's going to be, the figure or whatever that everybody talks about.
Right.
Because there is that history to this place. But I feel like if I just keep my eyes where they need to go, to that door, and I open the door and I turn on the lights, everything will be okay.
I'm feeling a hand on my back right now, a small hand. Okay, separate both rods, one to the left and one to the right, and make a straight line if you can do that. No way. What the heck?
Oh yeah, you're strong.
Oh my gosh. If you're a boy and a girl, if there's more than one child spirit here, cross, make an X. If there's more than one child spirit here in this room with us right now.
Sometimes the spirits are more receptive to Some old school technology. Dowsing rods seem to be the most effective way to contact these particular spirits.
Look at that, wow.
Are you happy?
A coincidence? Well, it could be. However, look what happens next. Behind the couch. Is this a fireworks show put on by spirits for these investigators? The team had never seen anything like this. Straight up shots going in different directions with no one moving, no lights. It's not a light flare, and these aren't bugs, and it's not water because water doesn't run up. The team's still not sure what it is.
Man, I gotta tell you, this investigation was quite intense. When I was holding on to those dowsing rods, it was like my hands were on fire. And at one point, my hand had this little bump, and then I felt like this presence come over me. Like my eyes started to tear up, my nose started to run, and I just could feel that presence. And then, you might not see much at times as we're wandering around, but when we started to look at the footage, oh my God, man, there was like fireworks and the voices, paranormal, murder. It was quite intense. There's something about those rods. If you ever get a chance to hold a pair of rods in a haunted place, guys, don't be scared. Just go and do it.
So Steve, how much of this is you pushing those together?
None. Want to try?
Yeah.
Okay. So make a fist. Make sure your thumbs are down, like this, just like that, and let them center out, just like that. And ask a question, and ask the rods to cross, or go to the left, or go to the right, in reference to the question.
Am I speaking to a child? If so, cross the rods.
Look at that. Your hands are completely still.
And how much is this? Is you doing this?
He's not doing nothing. Tell the child to bring it back to the center where you started.
Oh shit!
Okay, could you please bring it back to the center? Both rods, please. Just parallel. Okay, I get it.
Do you miss your mommy? Kiss.
So?
You want us to tell you a story? Read you a story? I'm getting the name Paul as the little boy. Paul.
Oh.
Paul, are you here right now? Is that your shoe in the glass over there?
There was definitely a strong energy in this room during this EVP session. Look at this cabinet where the artifacts are. Did you see that? No one was moving. There was no light within view of that glass for the reflection. Straight up. We're not sure what it is.
So the higher the number. Power 54. Whoa. So, little boy or little girl, touch this device right over here. Touch it again. Because I have to be right up on top of it to do that. That's me. But I'm way over here. I can't set it off from here. This thing. Is that your shoe? Well, the artifact was a belt. It looked like a small belt for a child. Paranormal. Murder.
Whoa.
It just says paranormal. Paranormal murder.
Spooky.
With the belt.
Wave. Oh, I'm getting ice cold on my oh, my shoulders are freezing right now.
Mine too.
It's very chilly.
You know, we've got, so upstairs in the kitchen, there's a door frame. And that door frame shoots across, well, technically it would be on this side of the building, looking over the middle of the brewery, and there's windows, right? It's almost like an atrium, you know, you got the center part all hollowed out, and you got windows to look through it. So I'll be sitting there, and I'm prepping, and to the right side, I do see figures walk.
Okay.
So it goes back to being receptive to things. Is that a person walking? No, I know who's staffed here, and I know where they're at right now because I haven't called a food runner upstairs, and my kitchen staff is right behind me. So there's no reason for anybody else to be upstairs at this point in time.
Yeah, she said at times there was like a feeling in here.
Got an Instapot. Lots of beautiful artwork. Love it.
Actually, what I'll do, I'm gonna take some bird shots. Up here.
Feeling anything, Jesus?
The lights just flickered.
Yeah.
What was that? Oh, I got nothing up here. You?
No. Just with a flickering light, that's all.
Steve went through and took pictures with all his full spectrum equipment and did some thermal work too, but still nothing seemed to show itself on this particular visit. It seemed all the paranormal energy was concentrated in the vault room. Some people told stories of a great big Santa Claus chair that used to sit in the corner of the second floor, that sometimes had an entity sitting on it or surrounding it. We couldn't find any traces of that energy on this particular visit.
69.4, 69, 70.3. No, there's no air current here, though.
The under-present team constantly monitors themselves to make sure that they are investigating scientifically. While many paranormal investigators will sensationalize errors in judgment or mistakes in general,
Those aren't, that's on the floor. That's not, those aren't the beer cakes.
the under-presence team strives to produce good results using scientific research methods. The team spent a little time under this staircase where a full-blown apparition was said to be seen by two individual people. The employee went to grab it when it manifested and the paranormal entity disappeared.
So this used to be Stuart P. Harlan. So it's his wife, and they say that's the reason for the piano out there. Because the story is that her ghost still hangs out in this building, but it's on this lower floor, and that there's times that you can hear her playing the piano.
Nice.
So that's why we have the old piano in here.
Does it work?
So, yeah. And people come in and actually play the pianos.
The team set out to investigate the piano to find if there were any traces of Mabel in the building. They didn't talk to Mabel, but they were surprised by something else that appeared on one of their cameras.
I'm gonna sit on the piano bench doing the spirit box. We're sorry for how you passed. You have our deepest sympathy. Were you murdered?
Many people see light flares and dusts, but this light dims, and there's a cylindrical thing that flies in front of this camera. Watch it again, in slow motion. The light dims, and this cylindrical thing floats above. This could well be a piece of dust. But the fact that the light dims is a little strange. In front of the building, you may see one of these little star-shaped orbs, similar to the fireworks we saw in the back. But maybe if these spirits are children, their orbs are smaller.
One of our other head bartenders, Bree, her husband Mikey, he has sat in this room and felt a presence and seen someone sitting in the corner over there, and he has personal experiences with this building in this room. We've also had someone else come in and is more in that professional field, and as soon as you cross the threshold of that door frame, he said he kind of felt this presence. And for those that can feel it or are more receptive to it, he said it was a very real thing for him. So this area in particular, and then in the back as well, is where I feel like most people have felt that kind of presence or activity, that feeling, I guess if you could say.
I'm curious to see what we captured on the video.
Burn.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, man, that's like fire.
Yeah. It's intense, isn't it?
Yes. And the thing is, you holding it, that's like here. You know, it made my eyes like one. Like, whoa, that's awesome, man.
I'll do it. I gotta do what I do it.
Your chest wet. Have you guys asked her, was she murdered next door?
Were you murdered next door? If you were, take both rods and bring it to the left.
Wow.
You enjoy us being here and asking questions and trying to help find answers for you, or for us, and you like us being here, cross the rods and make an X. Okay? If you're here watching over your belongings that are in the case right now, inside the vault, take the left rod and bring it as far left as possible, and then take the right rod and bring it as far right as possible. If you're watching over your belongings, EVP session, the Underpresence, Helen Blazes Brewery, 2020. Are there any spirits here that want to communicate with us? Come through and let us know that you're here. Are those your belongings in the glass inside the vault? Do you miss your mommy?
We saw some amazing things in this investigation. Some things I really can't explain. I think the coolest thing were the fireworks coming behind the couch there for my birthday, and our producer Felicia. That was crazy. I'd never seen anything like that. I tried to debunk them 5 different ways, can't figure it out. But we can't figure out is the spirits that are upstairs. The spirits that Drew told us about that run around on the floor. Now, we established there's children spirits up there, but didn't find a whole lot upstairs or in the back area underneath the stairs where they saw the full-blown apparition either. But I think we're on to something. We're going to review the findings a little bit, and we're going to see if we can help these kids out, get them cross over to the other side.